Welcome to a special edition of EPMG's Melanated News You Can Use, delivering key stories on issues affecting our local communities. I'm your hostess, Lady Lila Brown, reporting from Culver City as President Joe Biden is touring Los Angeles for campaign receptions and events before eventually making his way to San Francisco for more political engagement. Also expected to hear from Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass today.
What the president is here to do today is a part of his ongoing commitment to future generations. Skyrocketing student loan debt doesn't just prohibit young people from getting the education they need and deserve. Student loan debt prevents young people from buying a car. Student loan debt prevents young people from buying a house and starting a family. Addressing student loan debt should be thought of as a jobs initiative. This should be thought of as a housing initiative. This should be thought of as an economic motivator for young people throughout the country. Student loan debt cripples our workforce, especially when it comes to addressing homelessness. We need more social workers, more mental health specialists, and more service providers. By tackling student loan debt, young people will be able to pursue these professions that save lives. That is what addressing this issue means. And frankly, canceling debt for millions will be life-changing in and of itself.
Thank you. Kamala and I ran to lead this country. We made a commitment to fix our broken student loan system. One of the things we both talked about in the beginning. Because while a college degree is still a ticket to a better life, that ticket is too expensive. And too many Americans are still saddled with unsustainable debt in exchange for a college degree. So there's a student loan program to be able to afford a college degree, but a lot of people didn't take advantage of it, and I wanted to make sure they did. The ability to repay, though, has become so burdensome. A lot of people can't even repay, and they try. They don't miss payments. They work like the devil every month to pay their bill. But even they pay their loans, their debt increases, doesn't diminish because of interest rates. And I thought I'd make a lot more sense to relieve student debt for families and it would grow our economy. Well, there were existing programs in the law to fix and adjust the program. We had to change them to make people actually make them available for you, make people eligible. And that's what I've done when the Supreme Court said I couldn't go ahead and relieve all the debt. It helps everyone, not just the people whose debt is relieved, but when people in student debt relieved, they buy homes, they start businesses, they contribute, they engage in the community in ways they weren't able to before. It actually grows the economy. It grows the economy. That's why my administration has taken significant action to provide student debt relief. There's so many borrowers that many who didn't know they were able to get relief and do it as quickly and as possible. Look, early in my term, I announced a major plan to provide millions of working families with debt relief for their college student debt. Tens of millions of people in debt were literally about to be canceled for debts. But my MAGA Republican friends in the Congress, elected officials, and special interests stepped in and sued us. And the Supreme Court blocked it. But that didn't stop me. I announced we were going to pursue alternative paths for student debt relief for as many borrowers as possible. And that's the effort that's been underway the last 2 years. The fix was called the SAVE plan. It existed, but I fixed it to make it the most affordable repayment plan ever. Before I took office, student borrowers had to pay 10% of their discretionary income on a monthly basis. They made less than, if they didn't have enough to do that, they were able to not have to pay that much, but the interest continued. A lot of people don't have the means to do that, though. Under my SAVE plan, we're cutting in half to 5% the undergraduate borrowers have to pay after their living expenses are accounted for. That means no one with an undergraduate loan, whether it's a community college or a four-year college, will have to pay more than 5% of their discretionary income to repay those loans starting in July. And that's income after you pay for necessities like food and housing. Already 7.5 million Americans have enrolled in this so-called SAVE plan. And there's more than 4 million of those borrowers had their monthly payments drop to zero if they're living paycheck to paycheck below a certain level. This plan is the most generous repayment program ever, and today we're doing it even faster and quicker than ever before. I'm proud to announce our SAVE plan. We are immediately canceling the debt loans for over 150,000 borrowers, nearly 6 months ahead of schedule. Starting today, we're canceling student debt for borrowers who are enrolled in the SAVE plan and have been paying student loans for as little as 10 years. If they borrow less than $2,000, it's forgiven. $12,000, the loan is forgiven. This action will be a huge help to graduates of community college and borrowers with smaller loans, putting them back on track faster for debt forgiveness than ever before. This builds on other progress I've made for 4 million Americans through various actions. For example, we fixed what was called the Public Service Loan Program, Loan Forgiveness Program, which was designed to make sure that school teachers, firefighters, law enforcement officers, social workers, public servants get their student loans forgiven if they make payments for 10 years in a row and those 10 years of public service at the same time. And when I took office, there were 7,000 public servants who had taken advantage of this program and had it forgiven. But thanks to the reforms we made in the program, now there are nearly 800,000 have had their debts forgiven. 800,000. But then it goes this. This kind of relief can be life-changing for individuals and for their families. And it's good for the economy as a whole. By freeing millions of Americans from the crushing debt of student loan programs, it means they can finally get on with their lives instead of getting their lives being put on hold. They can think about buying a house, starting a home, starting a family, having a family future that they can enjoy, or saving for the family's future, saving and being put away a little bit of money. I'm proud to have been able to give borrowers like so many of you the relief you earned. I promise you I'm never going to stop fighting for hardworking American families. If you qualify, you'll be hearing from me shortly. Thousands of people per month are eligible, about 25,000 a month, or every 2 months to be paid on a 50,000 basis. Are eligible for relief, and they'll get a letter from me so they know they're qualified. When they get that letter, your debt's going to be forgiven. Look, folks, it's also helping you who don't go to college. It's not just, people say to me sometimes, well, Joe, that's great, you're helping people get into college, but how about all those hardworking people that grew up with in the neighborhood? How about all those folks in labor unions? How about all those hardworking people who work with their hands? Why should they have? Well, just today my labor department announced this is not a student loan program, but $200 million in grants for registered apprenticeship programs around the country, while you can learn a skilled trade and lead to good paying jobs. Everybody thinks if you're an electrician, you say one day, I want to be an electrician. And you got to go to school basically. These apprenticeship programs are 4 and 5 years before you qualify to have a license. They work like hell to get these licenses. And guess what? You work with your hands, you ought to be able to make a decent living. And that's why they're doing it now with my position on organized labor. So it matters. All this matters. My dad used to say, Joey, a paycheck is about more than, a job is about more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about opportunity. It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay. You got a chance. That's all we're doing. And people are taking advantage, giving people a chance, a fighting chance to make it. Because no one who's willing to work hard in America should be denied the opportunity to have that chance. And so, how many of you had student loans forgiven? All right. I tell you what. How about anybody over $10,000? $30,000? $50,000? Next month, okay. Anyway, seriously, thank you. And people have to understand, you've not only did the right thing by busting your neck and going back to school and doing as well as you did in school, but you're breaking your neck for people. You're doing it through programs that benefit the society, benefit the American people. Just like I got criticized not long ago for being too favorable to organized labor, unions. Well, they're the best workers in the world. They're the most qualified technicians in the world. No, they really are. They really are. And the economy is growing. It's growing. Jobs, income, across the board. We have the most advanced economy of any major nation in the world. We have a lot more to do. But with the help of all of you college graduates and who've paid off your student loans now, I'm confident we're going to get it all done. So thank you.
So today, President Biden announced the approval of $1.2 billion in student debt cancellation for almost 153,000 borrowers currently enrolled in the Saving on a Valuable Education SAVE repayment plan. The Biden-Harris administration has now approved nearly $138 billion in student debt cancellation for almost 3.9 million borrowers through more than 2,000 executive actions. The borrowers receiving relief are the first to benefit from a SAVE plan policy that provides debt forgiveness to borrowers who have been in repayment after as little as 10 years and took out about $12,000 or less in student loans. Originally planned for July, the Biden-Harris administration implemented this provision of SAVE and is providing relief to borrowers nearly 6 months ahead of schedule. More than 4 million borrowers have a zero monthly payment balance now under the SAVE plan. President Biden's administration has approved student debt relief for nearly 3.9 million Americans through various actions. So today we heard from Mr. President, and the Biden-Harris administration has also taken historic steps to improve the student loan program and make higher education more affordable for more Americans, including achieving the largest increases in Pell Grants in over a decade to help families who earn less than $60,000 a year achieve their higher education goals. This is Lady Lila Brown reporting from Culver City. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out my website, ellabmediagroup.com, for more information. I'll be giving full details of how the SAVE repayment student loan debt relief program can benefit you and how you can get more information and what type of borrowers qualify for this program. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Make sure you like, double tap, you comment, you share, and you subscribe to my YouTube. And I will be sure to keep the information flowing. We are now serving news and information from the White House. Until next time, take care and good luck. Bye-bye.